I had a lucrative career in the tech industry, and in all intents and purposes I had made it. You know, even though I was still driving 30 miles away, you know, round trip, and you know, I still had to take my children off, drop them off to school in the morning. For all intents and purposes, I made it. I had money, I had a nice car, I had the nice clothes, I had everything that I needed. But you know, I've always been concerned about my health, and being able to, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to work in the tech industry, because having a big family, I'm gonna have to be able to feed them and feed them the right type of food. And so buying organic, it was, you know, my food bill was just as big as my mortgage bill every month, and sometimes even more. And so it was out of that concern and some things that were going on in the economy around 2008 that said, you know what, I have to do something else because I can't keep this up. And so that took me in my backyard, and I started to grow food. It was, you know, a situation to where I thought it was simple. I thought you could just take some plants and put them in the ground and then they grow. But I found soon that that's not the way that it works, and I failed. But I decided to take a class, and with renewed vigor, I went to learn how to grow food. And something in that class changed me. There was so much information given out to talk about the topsoil and how it takes the earth 10,000 years to make 3 inches of topsoil, and we're destroying topsoil at the rate of 3 inches, you know, every 5 years. And so it was from that I figured out that I needed to do better for myself and for my family. And so I came back with renewed interest of being able to grow my own food, and that's kind of when, you know, this whole idea of urban agriculture became a real thing for me. And what I found is the more people that I talked to about urban agriculture, the more I found that people were interested, but they just didn't know where to start. And so that's when I started to hold volunteer days and different things to bring people to see what we were doing. And it was from that interest that, you know, the idea of taking my story and urban agriculture to the larger community became a reality, and that's where the Yisrael Family Urban Farm was started. Now it's become a full-blown profession for me. This is what I live for, to do. And like I said, it's not just the tomatoes and growing the food. That's one aspect, but the community engagement that comes along with agriculture, because food has always been a very social thing, especially for African Americans. It's always been very social. You know, we get together around food, and in doing that, I found that the people in my neighborhood who I've engaged, when they see something that they've grown, and they see something that they've, you know, created, or are able to eat the fruits of their labor, it transforms them too as well. I've seen people lose 30 and 40 pounds in 4 or 5 months by just changing their diet and learning how to grow their own food. I've seen children, you know, come out of juvenile hall or other situations where they've been in trouble with the law, and just through growing food, I can see them start to transform back into people again, you know, see them transform back into children again. And so, you know, I want to have a farm stand here. I want to be able to turn this into a full-fledged farm, and I'm unable to, because the regulations and the ordinances, the city and zoning ordinances, don't allow me to be able to take food from my backyard and go right out into the front yard here, or even to the sidewalk, and sell it to others. If I could do something like that in the community, we're talking about a complete and total transformation of the economics in what's going on here in South Oak Park. Right now, this is a food desert. You know, the food that comes in this community is coming through 3 or 4 convenience stores. There's no fresh fruit. Some of it's brown. You know, a lot of it is, you know, a lot of it's brown, but a lot of it is something that people don't even use really. They go into the store for liquor and drugs, cigarettes and things of that nature. But at the same time, many people are complaining. They're saying we need jobs, we need economical development in our community. But we have these lots that are empty. And with the city and partnering with the local government, considering that we're the farm to fork capital of the nation, then making it easy for people like me to take those lots and turn them into food producing, areas, then what now happens is I can take that food to farmers markets. So it's not about the tomatoes, it's not about the pecans, it's not about the pears, the plums, the raspberries, it's not even about the eggplants or the sunflowers, but it's about the change of mind that takes place from moving from a consumer to a producer, and moving from disenfranchised to being enfranchised, and being able to take control of your future. So from our urban agriculture, we've also spanned into neighborhood associations, and people are now rumbling and they're saying we want to change our community, and urban agriculture is a way that can get people up and moving again.
Bug life in here. See all of those? Different things working together. Look at that.